today's video, we'll be looking at woke TikToks that will make you question reality.
One more message. I know I talk a lot about how consistency is the key to success, but there's one other thing that is the key to success. That is being completely and totally obsessed with yourself. Love everything that you do, every mistake, every single thing that you put out, everything that you have going on, being so obsessed with it that you don't even notice if people are supporting you or not. Literally being so into it and so in love with it and so proud of yourself and so in gratitude for all your skills, all your blessings, all your talents, being so enthralled with your own divinity. There is no other choice but for you to succeed if you get to the point of being completely and totally in love with yourself.
This is actually
For
what
real.
reality really looks like. When you really pull back, this is what your matrix look like. It's based on frequency, sound, numbers. This is in the quantum field in your matrix. But when you combine the magnetic and gravitational field of these numbers and geometry, becomes very potent geometry, magnetic and gravitational field, which actually it's a matter. Even your chair right now, everything looks like that.
Can y'all imagine just everything in existence being math? How many people failed math class, yo? We'll never figure it out.
Because you can measure the frequency of the vibration of the location. And this is what the reality of the matrix of what we are really looks like.
Most people who are woke to some degree always see 1111 all the time.
That's what that whole Make-A-Wish.
Yo, 1111, not gonna lie. Sorry, I'm keep pausing the video, but that's my brother's lucky number. My boy was born on 1111. I like that number for real.
It's 1111, Make-A-Wish.
The matrix communicates through numbers, through colors, through shapes. The thing is, it always leaves you clues. You just have to know how to read the numbers. And that's why, people see repetitive numbers. Again, if you don't see it all the time, then you probably got some spirituality stuff to work on. I've seen 1111 on the clock all the time. People ask me all the time, what does that mean? It basically is a subconscious way of the matrix talking to your mind. It also means you're woke.
Oh, it's fascinating is the use of the sun. Many religions
Yes, talk about this.
Many religions had the religion based on the sun. And I always wondered, how do you use the sun? What is this all about? And what people don't understand is the sun is a portal. So I'll just tell you this example. I had this client come in and she wanted to lose weight. And she tried so many different things. I mean, literally, she went on a juice fast and the weight wouldn't budge. So obviously there was something going on. And usually when a client wants to lose weight, their subconscious will say, oh, the weight acts as like a protection. That's usually the case. And if you can figure out a way to feel protected, the weight will come off very easily. And the subconscious needs to understand this, and so does the conscious mind. Well, this wasn't the case. The higher consciousness said she needs to go outside without her contacts. And so that was a little surprising. I asked, what do you mean? And they said, she needs to be exposed to unfiltered sunlight because all humans need a little unfiltered sunlight, because ultimately what's available to humanity right now is the power of this intelligence coming from the portals of the sun. It goes through the unfiltered eyes straight to the pineal gland, and it unlocks the human power.
In my previous video,
Hey, she knows what she talking about for real. Y'all go out there and take advantage of this sun energy. Go out there and soak up the sunlight. Make sure you're doing it, sunrise and sunset. Don't go out there when the sun's at the highest point of the day and try to download that energy. It's going to be too much. Download that energy, upgrade your DNA.
videos I explain how the body is actually electrical and how mudras are highly slept on. These are electrical circuits. Now,
Y'all
if
see
you
that
did the
electrical
mudra that I
rocky guy?
showed and you didn't feel anything, it's because you're eating things that are dead. When you eat things that don't have electricity or hold a current, it actually lowers your frequency and your output is weaker. So these electrical circuits don't function properly. In today's food, mangoes, coconuts, watermelons, and cucumbers are the main fruits that hold the most powerful electrical currents.
Those is facts. And those foods, like, where did I hear this from? I think it might have been Dr. Sebi was saying how these are electrical foods and how it's basically you're getting the natural living water when you eat these foods like watermelons and cucumbers because they hold a lot of water. So get your water from these natural sources. Drink the living water. Don't drink the dead water. You eat the living food. Don't eat the dead food, you know?
So getting to this comment placebo, check this out. So I showed you guys this mudra for breathing. Now, if you tried this and it didn't help you breathe easier, you can try the more advanced one where you tuck your thumbs in like this. And from there you try to breathe again. But now this is the cool part. When you undo this, if you mentally visualize yourself doing this mudra, it will be easier for you to breathe. But it's weird because you're not doing the hand gesture, but you are seeing it in your mind. That is how powerful the mind is. And if you remember watching Doctor Strange, there was a man who had one hand, but yet he was still able to cast spells. Now, I know this is from a movie. Now, I'm sure one of the biggest lessons you've learned in life is that there are some truths within the myth. But more importantly, if you base your expectations only off of what you can see, then you're going to blind yourself to the possibility of alternate realities. Now, I know you guys have seen this hand mudra before, or hand gesture, or symbol, but this is also a mudra for intuition. And this is another mudra where you tuck your fingers in and you pinch these 3 fingers together, and this is to increase focus. Now, the cool thing about doing this, if you do this mudra right here for a long period of time, your hand actually starts to pulse, and you can feel your whole hand pulsating. And then when you switch to other mudras, you'll feel the same thing. Like, whether you think it's a placebo or not, there's something about it. And I highly recommend you guys try them and let me know what you think.
People that's
Hey, I believe what he's saying. I like that whole little book he had. I think that's the Hearth book. Someone in my comments on one of my last videos told me exactly what that book was. So shout out to them. But yeah, the Hearth book looks pretty interesting. Has a lot of knowledge in there. So I'm gonna have to check that out, y'all. Y'all should too.
on a low vibration, they're gonna be scared when you start to spread the truth to them. For example, I'm over here visiting my sister in Dallas. Last night, I was gonna enlighten them about some truth about the brain that I've been studying. They said, "Nah, don't tell us that, like, we gotta go to sleep." They said if I told them, then they wouldn't be able to go to sleep because they was gonna be scared. I was just thinking in my head, like, how is that scary? I'm telling you, yo,
Man, look.
it's altering their mind. So they living in a consistent state of fight or flight that's consistently pulling from the energetic vibration around their bodies. So that vibration is literally shrinking. So it's just making more negativity more prone to their subconscious. So when it's time to receive the truth, that shit literally scares them away. That's why people just don't like being around us when we start to tap into the higher consciousness.
This is gonna
I
blow
know
your
y'all feel like
mind.
that.
As an ICU nurse, I've seen death a lot. I've seen it happen in every way imaginable. I've seen it happen out of absolutely nowhere. I've seen it coming from a mile away. But one thing that all of these patients have in common is insane. When someone dies, every single time, that person will start to talk to people in the room that we don't see. It is a commonly known, openly discussed fact among all healthcare workers. Your patient will be fine, and then all of a sudden, they're talking to the ghost in the corner. That's how you can see it coming from a mile away. Or they're talking to their mother who has been dead for 20 years.
spirit's still
Literally
here, though.
every single time, without fail. Reading dozens and dozens and dozens of books on spirituality has definitely taught me a lot about this process. Like, did you know when you die, a spirit comes to help prepare you for that? It's usually a spirit who is somebody that you know, somebody who's already passed away, so it's familiar and you trust it. That spirit will either help prepare you in your sleep when your death is impending, or they'll just be there to greet you when your soul leaves your body. I've seen it all, and now I can tie it together with spirituality. There is so much more I could talk about in this topic. What do you guys want to know? Drop your questions in the comments. I'll tell you anything.
Okay, y'all. Don't mind how he made it look. I got whatever. But I was just scrolling down Facebook Reels, and I saw this little girl saying about the trips, like girls go on trips and don't come back as friends, you know. And she said it was about money. It's way deeper than that, baby. It's way deeper than that. And she was talking about specifically Miami. Miami carries a deep, deep demonic spirit around it. The people that are nasty and evil, I mean, like, that place is So evil. That's why when people go there, usually you get drunk to go have fun. When you get drunk, spirits, you allow spirits in your body. And the spirits out there are so demonic.
That
So
makes
demonic.
sense too.
I'm dead serious.
Yo,
Like,
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, I'll stop drinking alcohol because of this one reason right here, right? Because it just takes you out of your mind, literally, and it feels like someone else was able to come in and control your body, and you start doing things that's like, this ain't me, you know. So I agree with her. You know, if that's the case, if there are some very bad spirits down there, and or in certain areas that you live in, and then you do drink the alcohol, the spirits, and you allow the spirits to come in, that could be a demonic spirit. You know, it's not an angelic spirit. You know, some people get drunk and they're all happy and go lucky and they're feeling good, but some people get drunk and yo, they turn into an animal for real. Like they're mad and it's crazy, right? So it has to be something more supernatural than just a person ingesting some alcohol and they turn into a whole nother person. You know what I'm saying?
that's why people go out there and get into arguments and stuff like that. I think, I forgot where I was, and I got into it with my friends. I forgot where I was, but it was demonic energy, especially with the drinking and smoking and the kicking in the party. It's not all about money. Because everybody I went with had money. It wasn't about that. It's the spirits that's lingering around just waiting for you to take that sip out that drink. And especially like weak vessels, you ain't even got to drink. If you got a weak vessel, that spirit will go right inside of you and use you. It does it to people, families, and everything. Like y'all kids, that's why y'all kids start acting up, and you know, it's the spirits that's inside them. If they can't get to you, they gonna go to anybody around you. Just trying to kick some wisdom. Enjoy y'all day.
Yo, the English language is a whole setup. Now, I don't know if you know this, but words are spells.
They definitely are. That's why they call it spelling. That's why it's casting. You know, you cast a spell on somebody. These words are, man, you got to be careful with what you say because you could be casting a spell upon yourself. Hey, I fall victim to this all the time. You know, it's the English language. I don't know another language. It's not like I can go out here and speak Latin. So, man, it's just unfortunate for a lot of us out here.
That's why you gotta spell your words. They teach you how to spell. And back then, they would teach you how to write in cursive. Keyword curse. And you curse somebody out. These are words that we say and we don't even really pay mind to them. But words are everything. Now through the TV, what do? They broadcast. So they're casting spells. And the people of the show or the movie are the cast. See, Hollywood comes from the holly tree. Wizards will make their wands from the wood of the holly tree. Do their sorcery. Now, what do they call shows and stuff like that? They call it programs because it's programming you. Then they have channels. So now you're channeling different information, different energy, all of that. Job means persecution in Hebrew. And when you work a job, what they pay you? A salary. Salary means sal. Sal is salt. That's how they used to pay the ancient Romans back in the day. Pharmacy means magic, sorcery, or witchcraft. Alcohol is derived from the word alcohol, which means body-eating spirit, which is why people act out and get possessed when they are intoxicated. That's why they call alcohol spirits.
We just
The
talking
word
about this.
alarm originated in Italy as a battle cry, and that battle cry means to your weapons. So when you awake in the morning, awake is a gathering after the funeral, and mourning is a state of grief when somebody passes. That's why we don't say good morning, we say grand rising. But listen to this, so your alarm wakes you up, and that's a battle cry that means to your weapons. And you're now awake, which means gathering after the funeral. Then you're going to your job, which means persecution, to gain a salary, which means salt. During the week, throughout the week, you feel weak, and then you make it to the weekend where you feel weakened. This is why it's so important to switch up your vocabulary, because like I said, words are spells. Depending on what words you're saying, that's gonna be manifested back. It's cause and effect. You put that energy out there. Even if it's unconsciously, you put that out there. So just be aware and definitely start switching up your vocabulary. Stop saying the word spent. Oh, I spent this much. I spent money. Stop saying that. Because once you spent it, the universe hears that, and that's it. You can't get it back because you spent it. But if you say I circulated or I invested, the money is definitely gonna come right back to you. I practiced this literally when I was broke, and I noticed the shift. There's a reason why they stripped us from our...
Hey, but in all honesty, it goes deeper than just saying I spent the money versus I invested the money. You got to act upon that as well. You can't just be out here spending money because, like you said, you're not going to get it back just giving your money away. You can't just go out there and buy a shirt and say, I circulated this, because that's not true. You're lying to yourself. You can't go out there and buy some fast food and say, I invested. What did you invest in? Because you didn't invest in yourself, so then you're lying again. So it's more than just words.
Our original languages, and they forced the English language on us. So always be self-conscious and start using more positive words. You already know, family, health is wealth. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you want more content like this, then definitely let me know in the comments. Peace out, fam.
Peace.
Listen, y'all, it's a lot going on right now. The electromagnetic field or the firmament or the veil, whatever you want to call it, that is being lifted, and there's a lot being exposed right now. And on top of that, you have all these astrological, all these astronomical events going on, planetary alignments. You have people truly waking up to who they are and their power and stepping into their God frequency. For real. You got people who go out in the sun for hours and hours, and they're experiencing all kinds of internal upgrades in consciousness, all kinds of energy, cognitive and neurological mental energy, just from being out in the sun. You got people getting stronger physically being out in the sun and working out in the sun. And I don't know what it is exactly, but as I'm making this video on April 1st, the energy is already so different compared to the past few months and compared to last year. I just feel like my higher self is starting to really take over me. I'm really starting to feel like I'm stepping into a better version of myself, or a higher timeline.
Hey, quick question. Where is bro at in this video? It looked like he got some aluminum tent behind him or something. I'm just a little bit confused as to where he is at.
And it's funny because these past few months, actually, I was kind of battling my lower self. I was kind of in a depression. And today I got to really sit down and reflect on why I was going through that. And I think it's partly because, for one, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. You know, I wasn't healing. I wasn't doing my shadow work. And for two, I think it was prepping me to step into this higher timeline. But anyway, as all these different changes are occurring with the planet, and as all these different people are going through all these different experiences, the enemy is doing everything they can to push their agendas even harder and to distract us. They're really trying to get us, you know, initiated with AI and in a digital world so they can have full control over us, and that we lose our privacy. And that we truly become slaves for eternity. This is their end goal. So I truly hope that you're doing or have done the inner work to fully detach from this 3D realm and all it has to offer. Because they will try to buy you, they'll try to manipulate you, they'll try to convince you to go along with their agendas. And I know all the real ones stand with me on this one. On my soul, I would rather die than comply with this AI shit.
There are certain people who come to Earth at certain times of great crisis, to try to help to sort things out. And they are just the Godhead in a physical body. This great transformation of Earth that's already beginning is already underway, is being guided not by yours truly alone, but by the whole of creation. Because if this planet is destroyed, the whole of creation is thrown into chaos, because, you know, planets and stars are not there because the Godhead fancies it. Wouldn't it be pretty? Everything is there. It has a purpose. It has a meaning. It has a reason for existing. And if one of the planets or whatever ceases to exist because of the way we treat it, then the whole of creation is threatened. And my goodness me, I'll tell you this, it is threatened very much at this time. It is
Ramu the woke one, back again with another one. Rashad Jamal wasn't lying. Y'all check this video out. We are the 144.
We elected 144,000 of our most finest spiritual assassins that came from Xylanthia, from Sirius X. and we descended on this planet to help build it up. Tiamat, right? I said 144,000, right? And I told y'all when we first shift, there's going to be 144,000 of us that will be the first to shift, nigga. And the rest gonna shift later, nigga. So we that 144,000 nuclear weapons, nigga. And we are nuclear because we have the nucleus. That's why they make the car. Your gun will jam because it gets carbon buildup. Because you have carbon in your skin. They use the placenta, the organs, all our body parts to make their weapons. Right? Pay attention to that number. They know that 144,000 of us will activate first. They know this, family. That's why they showed it to you. We the first, remember I told y'all, we the mutants, nigga. This signs and symbols for the conscious mind. Pay attention, nigga. We the nuclear weapons, nigga. About 14,000. Add a 4 in front of that. Nigga, that's us they talking about, nigga.
Okay, what y'all think about that? Y'all agree with Rashad Jamal? Y'all think that we're the 144,000 that they're waiting to awaken? Or are we already awake? Let me know. But yeah, guys, these are some of the most woke TikToks that are going to make you question everything. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.